All right, thank you, Jason. Well, once you get into college, it's a whole new world that you have to deal with. You have to deal with the social life, the school life, and not to mention anything else that comes at you. And that deadline is coming quick, and the stress can definitely bring down that experience. But there are ways to get around it. Leigh Richardson from the Brain Performance Center joins us now. Good morning, Leigh. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So according to a new study, college students are more anxious and alienated than ever. Can you speak to that?
Well, I think, it's always been a big deal to go away to college. And it's a common problem to have some anxiety. But we're it's a major transition in life. And we don't have the same level of security. After the last 2 years, we've all been introduced to stress in a way that we haven't before. So I think it's more challenging to think, oh, I'm going to have a new roommate. Oh, I'm going to have a new life. Things aren't going to be the same. I'm going to have more pressure from my studies. And I think it's just the way our body and our brain reacts to that with fear.
Yeah, definitely a stressful time. I remember those times way too well. So can you tell us how men and women actually handle stress differently?
Well, it's interesting because what this study showed is that women, when they feel anxiety on a high level, they tend to lose their self-esteem, and men tend to lose their support from their friends. So it's interesting how it hits them both differently. But the important point is it's okay to experience anxiety, regardless of your gender, regardless of your sex. And you really do need to take it seriously, because I can't tell you how many clients have told me, oh, Leigh, I'm just going to power through. I'm just going to suck it up. And they think it's just going to go away, and it doesn't.
Well, how does sleep, diet, or any other social factors play into anxiety when you get into this new environment?
Well, the foundation for how your brain works comes from sleep. The only time these little glial cells can come out and clean up all this toxic waste from your brain is when you're asleep. And diet, the brain only weighs 3 pounds. It's 60% water. So you've got to keep that brain hydrated, and you've got to keep that brain with enough energy. Did you know the brain puts off enough energy to light a small light bulb?
Well, I did not know that. It's all powerful. We know that. But one thing that we also know is that, it's okay to not be okay. If people need help, what can they do?
Well, I think, if I were dropping my kids off at school, I'd make sure that they knew that there was a resource center at the university. And sometimes that doesn't work for everybody. Mm-hmm. And I would let them know how to reach out to other resources. And if nothing more, just saying, you know what, let's cut a deal. If you're feeling like you're overwhelmed and you can't deal with this, you let me know, and I will help you find the answers. There's the Association of Anxiety and Depression online, and they try to support local support groups. So there are resources out there. The problem is that you have to look for them, and you have to find them.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Leigh. The information to get in touch with her is on our screen right now. We're going to go to break. We'll be right back.